Maharashtra's farmers community that both the parties are targeting through various loan waivers. Both the ruling BJP coalition and the opposition Congress alliance are offering a full waiver. For the state's youth as well, the BJP has promised an allowance of 10,000 rupees per month for 10 lakh students, which is paired with a commitment to create 25 lakh job opportunities. The Congress has also stepped up and has countered BJP by pledging 4,000 rupees monthly as allowance for unemployed youth. These electoral pledges, viewers, underscores the high stakes and the fierce competition for the young vote in the state. All of this has set the stage for a freebie war over who can deliver more. That said, an attempt is also being made to undermine one another on who is promising welfare and who is wanting to appease or making unrealistic promises. In fact, both the BJP and the Congress have accused each other of copying their respective manifestos. But politics aside, the real worry is about how some of these promises may remain unfulfilled and how they mount additional pressure on the state's budgetary resources, especially given that a state like Maharashtra, as of 2024, has an outstanding liability to the tune of 7.2 lakh crore rupees. So let's talk about how much will these poll promises cost the state exchequer if implemented. This is the estimated cost of poll promises made by the Mahavikas Aghadi and the Mahayuti in Maharashtra. Let's go point by point. The INDI bloc's promise of 3,000 rupees per month per woman is a significant financial commitment which totals to 84,240 crore rupees annually. The NDA's promise of 2,100 rupees per month under the Majhi Ladki Behan Yojana is a lower payout and results in a lower total cost of 58,968 crore rupees, which is not a small sum in itself. Both the Mahavikas Aghadi and the Mahayuti are offering debt relief to farmers. The INDI bloc has capped the debt waiver at 3 lakh rupees per farmer. The NDA scheme doesn't specify a cap on the waiver, but both promises will need 75,000 crore rupees to be allocated annually. That's the big amount here, 75,000 crore rupees on an annual basis. Further, the Mahavikas Aghadi has proposed free bus rides for women, a transportation initiative costing 4,697 crore rupees annually. As far as this particular announcement is concerned, it will provide widespread mobility for women and lower transportation costs as well. But here are the NDA figures, the Mahavikas Aghadi figures, also focusing on educational support to 1 million students, which results in a low annual cost of about 1,000 crore rupees, nonetheless a big amount. This initiative also targets the youth and students, providing financial aid for education. Moving on to how the Mahavikas Aghadi has announced or rather promised 4,000 rupees per month for unemployed youth, with a total estimated annual cost of 5,336 crore rupees. This proposal addresses youth unemployment and offers them financial security while they seek work or develop their skills. The NDA on its part, the Mahayuti on its part, in contrast, is promising up to 21,000 rupees per month in pension for senior citizens with a low annual cost of about 3,150 crore rupees. This pension scheme provides security for the elderly. Those are the kind of promises and what it's going to end up costing the state exchequer if we go by an annual basis. Now, given these thousands of crores, the freebies culture most certainly raises concerns about growing financial burden of welfare schemes in Maharashtra. As per the Economic Survey of Maharashtra, there has been a steady rise in the state debt through the years, and that has once again posed questions about poll promises and their long-term sustainability and also their impact on the state's fiscal health. Let's take you through the numbers, and these numbers are very important. The data that we're going to put out for you clearly shows a consistent upward trend in the state's debt from 4.5 lakh crore rupees in 2018-2019 to 6.29 lakh crore rupees in 2020 to 2023, an increase of around 39% over a 5-year period. And the outstanding liability as of 2024, total outstanding liability as of 2024 is estimated to be over 7.2 lakh crore rupees. That's a big number in itself. And while welfare schemes can play an important role in addressing immediate needs and empowering disadvantaged communities, the question remains, how long can Maharashtra continue to fund these freebies without compromising its ability to address other key issues like infrastructure, healthcare, and perhaps education as well. So the big question that we ask at 6 p.m. on Plain Speak this evening is, though there's a big war that's exploded over freebies in Maharashtra, is this a gambit or a real welfare? Here's how it's played out so far.
आरक्षण कट जाए उसमें आप सहमत हो क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो, सहमत हो? ये अघाड़ी वाले सत्ता की भूख में अंधे हो चुके हैं।
ये पहली बार ये महायुति का जो वचननामा है, मैनिफेस्टो, उसको चुरा कर उन्होंने अपना जाहिरनामा बनाया है।
और आज महाराष्ट्र में उन्होंने 1000 रुपए, 1500 दे रहे, 1500 रुपए दे रहे। अरे हम तो कर्नाटक में ऑलरेडी 2000 दिए हैं, दे रहे हैं। हमारी कॉपी करने वाले लोग
And let's quickly go across to our guest joining us this evening. We have Radhika Khera, spokesperson of the BJP, with us, along with Chitra Batham, spokesperson of the Congress, Professor Sanjay Kumar, cephalogist and also co-director CSDS, with us on the broadcast, and spokesperson of the Shiv Sena speaking for the Shinde faction is Sushil Vyas, completes the panel this evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this very important debate, as the Maharashtra battle most certainly is heating up, not by the day, but perhaps by the hour. But my first question is to Sushil Vyas ji, given that all eyes are on how this plays out, both for the Mahavikas Aghadi and Mahayuti, and the focus has been very clear on the woman voter, on the youth and the farmers, and that's pretty much evident with the manner in which some of these freebies, some of these SOPs have been announced. But tell us a little bit about the current financial condition of Maharashtra, the fiscal condition of Maharashtra, and whether those factors have been kept in mind while making these big promises.
Good evening. See, we have announced all these welfare schemes in the month of June itself, in our annual budget. So once something is announced in budget, so everything is taken care of, groundwork is done, budgetary provisions are made, then only this Ladki Behan Yojana and then Yuva Kaushal Prashikshan Yojana for youths, etc., old age pensioners, free ticket for state roadways, everything was taken care of. Budgetary provisions was made, the resources were made available, then only we have announced. Otherwise, unlike Khargeji advised their Chief Minister of Karnataka and Deputy Chief Minister 4 days back, please don't announce anything which is, there is no budgetary provisions. So here we have made budgetary provisions. That budgetary provisions made means resources are there. So accordingly, we are implementing these schemes. All schemes which we have announced, which are in the form of welfare scheme, all are perfectly implemented. See, our sisters have got 5 installments of Ladki Behan Yojana. You see, in the month of November, elections were there. That's why we given them in advance, October itself. So we have a resource, otherwise how can we pay?
Okay, but those figures are also very concerning. Vyasji, those figures are very concerning. If I'm talking about the total outstanding liability, amounting to over 7.2 lakh crore rupees, that's a big figure. So are we being able to do the math successfully? I'm sure all of that has been kept in mind, but nonetheless, these are big promises. And I want to go across to Radhika as well. But before that, Mr. Vyas, a quick comment on whether or not you're in support of the Bharatiya Janata Party as far as all of these promises are concerned. The Bharatiya Janata Party wanting to take up the Ladki Behan Yojana, increase the amount to now 2100, so on and so forth. Are you completely in sync with your ally?
See, we are in alliance. We have called it Mahayuti. We are strongly together, united. We are fighting election together, and you will see after 23rd November we will form government together. So there is no question of being not agreeing with what they have announced. So we have announced after consulting each other only. So whatever has been announced by our big brother, our major partner, will have to be abide by us. We will be there strongly with them, and all of us, all three parties will be strongly together in compliance of whatever has been announced by each of us.
Okay, Radhika, the big question to you now, since we've heard the Prime Minister say on multiple occasions that, so many taxpayers in the country have been in touch with him, have constantly written to him to put an end to the Revdi culture. Don't you think that's the culture being adopted by the Mahayuti in Maharashtra as well?
Let's address this issue head on. Yes, Maharashtra welfare commitments are coming at a cost. But under the BJP, this is not reckless spending, and these are not just hollow promises. These are planned investments. The Congress MVA government, which ruled for about 31 months out of the 5 years and left behind a legacy of appeasement-driven freebies and drained the resources of Maharashtra without accountability, we are very different from that. The difference is that the BJP promises are investments focused on empowering Maharashtra, direct financial aid to women, support for farmers, infrastructure, for job creation, and our promise is to make the state a $1 trillion economy by 2028. Now that is our vision. Our vision is not just what the MVA has, that throw money at vote banks and deliver without delivering measurable returns through targeted policies. This is not what the MVA did. We have our deliverables all targeted. We know the cost of running the government. We have been running the government for the past 10 years. And mind you, we have not been doing any appeasement politics. We are not the ones who have promised 17 things to the ulemas. That is the manifesto of the MVA Alliance, which has been signed by Mr. Nana Patole. कि 1500 रुपए हर महीने मौलानाओं को देने हैं, सारी जमीन दे देंगे, and lots of other things which come with a financial cost. And under our government, which is the Mahavikas Aghadi, which is the Mahayuti, the BJP, will ensure that every rupee that is spent builds a prosperous Maharashtra. And we will not and we cannot afford to repeat the way the Mahavikas Aghadi had irresponsibly and corruptly played divisive politics in Maharashtra, and at the cost of the welfare of the people of Maharashtra. That is not going to happen. We are going to create sustainable growth, not just hollow populism. So we have everything intact, and which is why people are supporting us again and again. If we did not deliver and we were making the state bankrupt, why would we come for a third time again in Haryana state, where we formed a government with a record time where no one has ever come back for 3 terms? And we are not the state like Himachal Pradesh-led Congress, where they have to go and ask and beg for tax on toilet seats. Just look at the state. Telangana is going bankrupt because they're not able to deliver their promises. Karnataka is in bad condition. And you have their own, like my colleague said, the national president of the Congress party has said in his own words, and he's on record to say, don't make hollow promises, we cannot deliver, because he's seen. See, any man at that age who's had such a long political career knows, dil se to sab jante hain na where they're going wrong. So it is what it came out from his heart, that we have to stop making these hollow promises, because we end up finishing the state exchequer, we end up in losses and going bankrupt. So that is why Mr. Khadge also said that, but we haven't seen any of that happening in any of the BJP ruled states. Have you ever seen any of us asking for taxes on toilet seats?
Okay. Interestingly, days after Mallikarjun Kharge sounded those warning bells, he was the one to in fact release the party manifesto, rather the alliance's manifesto, just 2 days ago. And very interesting how all of these freebies found a mention. But I want to go across to Chitra as well. Chitra, how would you respond to that allegation coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party that here's an internal realization and introspection of sorts, if you may say, on part of the Congress, rather the senior leadership of the Congress party, wherein, Mallikarjun Kharge very recently, not too long ago, said that please keep in mind the fiscal condition of a state before making poll promises. And there you go with the series of poll promises being made by the Mahavikas Aghadi. If we just talk about the, promise of 3,000 rupees per month, it's a big promise for the woman voter, but it's going to total to 84,240 crore rupees annually. That's a big amount. Has the fiscal condition of the state been kept in mind?
Kristen, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, yes, Kristen, as Mr. Kharge rightly said, and he is a very senior person, he has got decade-long experiences. So, definitely, he has pointed out the things correctly, and we all take, we all pay heed to whatever he says. I would say that we are responsible people. We don't make fake promises. We don't say that, oh, the promise that we made it in during our poll days was just jumla, be it the 15 lakh or the 2 crore jobs or, making the petrol prices come down to 35 or 40 rupees. And just, shun off and run away by saying that these were just mere jumlas. We are very responsible people, so which is why Mr. Kharge has rightly pointed us in the direction that we must, completely have a thorough exercise done, understand the situation, and then go ahead and make the promises. So our promises come with definite backing. Our promises come with deliberate experiences and deliberate. We have thorough exercises done.
But are you being able to deliver on those promises, Chitra? Because the BJP,
Exactly.
through and through, through its campaigning in Maharashtra and elsewhere, has been speaking of how, the Haryana, the Himachal Pradesh model, I beg your pardon, failed, Karnataka model failed, Telangana model failed, all of those big ticket promises were made and they've not been able to fulfill anything.
These are paid fake advertisements that is being given by the BJP people, and we have complained it to the Election Commission also that they are misleading the people. They are all three CMs, be it from the Himachal Pradesh, from the Telangana government, Mr. Revant Reddy, as well as Mr. D.K. Shivkumar and Mr. Siddharamaiah, all have addressed and how they are running well the state, which is why Mr. Narendra Modi, who had earlier addressed these issues in the tweet, had to delete the respected tweet and run away. So what I'm saying is, yes, there's an elephant in the room. 7.29 lakh crore deficit.
Can I please come in?
Which is a huge number. Which is a huge number. That is what this Mahayuti, so the Khoke and the...
But while Mahayuti may have promised 2100 and that's going to total up to about 55,000 crore rupees or a little above that, you've taken it to 3,000 rupees. So are we making unrealistic promises? That's my only concern.
No, it is absolutely not. It is absolutely...
We've seen the result of the same. We've seen a fund crunch being faced by the Karnataka and Congress. We've seen delay in salaries for government employees in Himachal Pradesh. So there have been problems, and as far as implementation of these schemes are concerned, the voter itself has spoken up.
Do you know the deficit on Gujarat? Do you know the deficit on Goa? So these are all, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let me just at least address.
Okay, all right.
Let me just finish. The manifesto that we have come out with, it is based on the 17 sustainable goals which is mentioned by the United Nations, and we have promised the state of Maharashtra that is needed for their overall development, for their overall confidence, for their increasing their purchasing power. We are ready to do that respect. In fact, I would like to say that the pie of Maharashtra's business, the Tata Airbus or the Vedanta Foxconn or the ILFS, these all businesses which were supposed to be done in Maharashtra, these all have been shifted at the pitch of the central government to the...
Okay, Aruna, very clear line, very clear, not a very clear line with you, Chitra. We'll try and fix that. And in the meanwhile, I want to go across to Radhika as well. Radhika, a couple of questions being posed by Chitra this evening. Go ahead, respond.
First of all, it was very funny when she was talking about we are a responsible government, a government which could not even save the samosas for its chief minister in Himachal Pradesh, and they have to use CID to find out who ate the samosas, are absolutely not responsible, and people do not believe in them. जो अपना samosa मुख्यमंत्री का नहीं बचा सकते, वो जनता का क्या ध्यान रखेंगे? Everybody knows. And she's again and again talking about that. She also mentioned that the Prime Minister deleted his tweet. I'm sorry, don't go by what Ms. Supriya Shunade sends you on WhatsApp and tells you to say on debates. Please go there. The tweet is there. There was one which had probably an error or something which was deleted and was repeated again. We have not really deleted any tweets. We are not Rahul Gandhi who makes gawkers and sends all those tweets. And also when you talk about your chief ministers wrote those tweets, well, none of your chief ministers wrote those tweets. We all know where they came from your IT cell, and they were just mere copy and paste because they had to save face. What else to do when your Congress president is going on record and saying we cannot afford it, we have to stop making people a fool, but yet you have to defend yourself because the lust of power is such everybody knows.
But Radhika, why is it that the BJP also had to heavily rely on these freebies or these SOPs or these poll promises? While you're posing that question to the Congress, has the BJP or the Mahayuti not done any sort of introspection? Because right now it's the Shinde BJP Sarkar which is in power in Maharashtra, and yet we've seen the figures that I just put out and broke down.
See, let me just tell you that the Congress and MVA has always relied on short-term benefits and promised the moon and the stars, and not looking at what the financial repercussions could be. Because they are in a state where bas kisi tarah se we need the power. We've seen they've been out of power from the center for 10 years, and they don't. It doesn't seem like they're going to come back to power for another 10 years at least. And they are losing each and every state one by one. Losing Haryana was something which was, which they never expected, obviously, because Haryana has never had a government coming for 3 terms. So now, desperate times call for desperate measures, which is why they go and promise the sun and the moon and the stars without realizing that agar hum power mein aa gaye, how are we going to keep up to that? Bas promise kar do, bolte jao. Like those 17 promises, like I said, now she's talking about 17 promises. Are 17 things in the manifesto by the UN? No, ma'am. Your 17 promises are those which have been laid out by the ulemas, which have been signed by Mr. Nana Patole, and that is exactly what your manifesto is.
No, but
to be fair,
so far we don't have a confirmation on the same. So
Thank you.
we really don't know whether or not that's authentic in itself. Congress has come out with rejection of any of those claims or any such demand being met by the Congress party. That said, I want to go across to Professor Sanjay Kumar as well for a very important perspective. Professor Sanjay Kumar, we often forget that putting all your eggs in the freebies basket is not the way forward, really. And the elections in Madhya Pradesh in December 2023 are a living example of the same, isn't it? Nobody saw the BJP winning in Madhya Pradesh, and the Ladli Behan Yojana was given much credit for the BJP's victory. But the same schemes, if we talk about Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan or Bhupesh Baghel in Chhattisgarh, did not really favor any of those governments. So what do you make of this trend that we see of, political parties heavily relying on freebies when that's not the ultimate goal, really?
First, we have to figure out whether when a party makes announcement about freebies, does it harm the party in any way or it helps the party in mobilizing electoral support? My own sense is that there is no possibility of making an announcement for freebies hurting the political party. So one possibility is ruled out. The only possibility is it can only help the party. Now the question is to what extent? Can a party win elections only by making freebie announcement for freebies? That cannot happen. And that is why parties cannot rely only and only on making announcement about freebies. The parties which would rely heavily on freebies, the party is not going to succeed. And the second thing, the third thing is that different parties make announcement. These days, it's not new of one political party, but all political parties are making announcement. So how do people decide now which party to rely for, which announcement to rely on? I think it is connected to party's general strength, electoral strength. If a party is not in a situation to even come close to the power, then even if the party makes lofty announcement, party is not going to win. The party is not going to mobilize votes only by making announcement for freebies. So it is a connected thing. It is like icing on the cake. You need to have a cake. You need to have a base, and this is only garnishing the cake so that it gives a good look, and also it helps in selling the cake. So that's the whole point. Party must be seen as formidable, party must be seen as somewhere close to winning election, and if then party makes an announcement, people have tendencies to rely on those freebies. If party is nowhere in contest, whatever announcement you make, people are not going to believe those announcements.
Oh yes, absolutely. Which takes me to the fact that whether or not you've announced a set of freebies, if there is a lack of organizational strength in your party or alliance on ground zero, if there's corruption which is taking down your alliance or your party, then freebies alone is not going to be a silver bullet. I hope there is a realization of the same amongst the several stakeholders concerned here. I see Radhika wanting to come in. Yes, Radhika, you want to respond?
Just a quick thing, when we are talking about how we're going to manage it, see, we have always ensured financial stability by leveraging Maharashtra's economic strength, which contributes to about 15% of India's GDP. Now, our vision, it's just not look at the freebies or the promises, and these are not freebies. Ye hak hai Maharashtra ki janata ka that they have a better life and a better future. So along with that, our vision is to make Maharashtra a 1 trillion economy, like I said, by 2028. Now, this initiative will be backed by industrial clusters, fintech hubs, renewable energy projects, which will drive the revenue growth. So we're not only promising things to the people, but we are also going to bring in financial stability. Now, Maharashtra has already attracted a 1.4 lakh crore in FDI in 2022-23, and that is just 2020-23 alone. So that momentum will continue to find its pace and fund the welfare schemes and sustainably fund them, so that we can sustainably help the people of Maharashtra who need and fulfill our promises, as well as the growth is going to be there. So we are not talking about just promises.
But Radhika, despite that, after Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra is the second state with the largest outstanding liabilities. So those challenges
absolutely,
also
like I said, 31 months of misgovernance by MPA. They promised the sun and moon.
But the Shinde BJP have had as much time to rectify that,
and
to course correct. But what we see on part of Mahayuti is make another set of promises, which is not going to ease the financial burden.
Which is why I quoted our growth in 22-23, which is why this is how we are sustainably reducing the debt dependency. Now, it takes time. You cannot, देखिए गड्ढे में गिराना बहुत आसान होता है, उससे निकलना मुश्किल होता है. It's a living example. If you fall, you will fall like this. But it takes a little while to stand up back on your feet, and that is what we are doing, and we are ensuring that the schemes are sustainable, and also at the same time we reduce the debt dependency. So that is what we are ensuring, which is why our FDI increase, and we are working, like I said, we're going to bring in more projects and get that improved, and which is why the people are again focusing on us. We saw how Maharashtra was reeling under Corona when the Mukhyamantri didn't even come out of his house. This is not what the people of Maharashtra voted for. And also, people of Maharashtra knew that Mr. Uddhav Thackeray will not be able to run a government.
Okay, all right.
That is why they voted for BJP as well as Shiv Sena, not for the Mahavikas Aghadi.
Okay, before I let Chitra come in, Sushil Vyas ji, what explains these kind of decisions? You know, we see right after 2024 Lok Sabha elections, and the Mahayuti was pretty concerned, worried about, their election result. 17 seats with 30 going to the Mahavikas Aghadi, the vote share being close to 43%. So it was a concern for the Mahayuti, most certainly. And then we see the announcement of schemes like the Ladki Bahan Yojana. Don't you think, you're in a sense heavily relying on freebies to gain electorally from elections such as what we're going to witness in 10 days from now? That possibility can't be ruled out. The timing cannot be negated, sir.
First of all, the vote share was 43.6 and 43.9. Only 0.3% difference was there. So that was, we must take into consideration about the time of announcement. See, a government is elected for a full term. We were elected till 26 November 2024. So once budget was announced in June, we thought that is a welfare scheme should be announced. We came out with a welfare scheme because under Article 38 of Indian Constitution, if there is an inequality amongst the various classes and of society, maybe it is ladies, young, different OBC, BC, then that Article 38 directs us. There is a duty of party in power to come out with welfare scheme, to bring them at par.
No, but there is also a thin line between welfare schemes and freebies, and that's why we're holding this very important discussion. I have last 15 seconds. Mr. Vyas, apologies. I'll have to interrupt you there and go across to Chitra for the last comment. Chitra, 30 seconds, please.
As I said, Christine, earlier, that the Mahayuti has always treated $1 billion investments that were supposed to come to Maharashtra. They were taken out of Maharashtra. The BJP spokesperson mentioned about 1 lakh crore FDI investments coming to Maharashtra. I would say that more than that has been taken away from Maharashtra. It's a deficit again that is caused by the Mahayuti government over here. Maharashtra is currently facing the highest.
Okay, let's see. Well, we'll have to deep dive into the arguments that you're making, but I don't have that kind of time. Let's see whether or not we'll see a turnaround, if at all, the Mahavikas Aghadi comes to power. Not too many days left before we really get to know what is in store for the Mahayuti and Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra. Many thanks, gentlemen and ladies, for joining us on this very special debate this evening. We head into a very short break. Up next, we get you details on why Arshdeep Singh, also known as Arsh Dalla, and his detention. Remember, he's a Khalistani terrorist, one of India's most wanted criminals. How his detention is being seen as a mere eyewash here in India. More details up next.
You don't have a problem in Russia. We have. You don't have. You might have. We still have. Let's see. Hello, everybody.
Все понятно, все слышно?
To protect our citizens from this global menace. But if we're going to solve many of the problems facing our world, then we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. And we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the President.
Welcome back. Days after a shocking admission by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau about the presence of a Khalistan support base in his country, the Canadian police have detained Arshdeep Singh, also known as Arsh Dalla, close aide of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistani terrorist and a wanted person on the National Investigation Agency's terrorist list. He's been detained in a shootout case by the Halton Regional Police. A native of Moga, Arsh Dalla is accused of multiple terrorist killings in Punjab. Remember, Punjab police has already busted several modules backed by Dalla with the arrest of his close aides and recovering IEDs, hand grenades and other arms and ammunition as well. Now, Arsh Dalla is considered to be a close aide of slain Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar and has been leading the banned Khalistan Tiger Force since Nijjar's killing last year. He's also believed to be operating out of Canada, running a terror network that seeks to fund, recruit and carry out terror activities in India, especially in Punjab. His name features on the National Investigation Agency's terrorist list, making him a wanted figure in India as well. Arsh Dalla, in fact, has been linked to several killings in Punjab, including those of civilians, police officers and political figures. These killings are believed to be part of his strategy to instill fear in the reign. Now, he's played a pivotal role in promoting Khalistani separatism. We've been tracking that very closely. The Indian diaspora in India itself His efforts, in fact, include recruiting militants, funding terror cells, and also spreading anti-India propaganda. Let's also tell you why Arsh Dalla was most wanted by the NI. Arsh Dalla has been accused of providing financial support to various terror factions, including those operating in Punjab and across India. He's been linked to smuggling weapons into India. His activities were not confined to India alone, though. He's been accused of orchestrating and facilitating cross-border terrorism with the help of Pakistan-based terror groups. He's also been linked to a series of high-profile murders, particularly in Punjab, and he's accused of deploying sleeper cells in various parts of India, particularly in urban areas and sensitive regions like Punjab, which have been hotspots for several Khalistani activists. Now, Pakistan's ISI has also long been suspected of aiding and abetting Khalistani terrorists, and Arsh Dalla was allegedly in contact with the ISI to further his outfit's mutual interest of destabilizing India. That's why he's wanted in India as well. Let's also tell you how intel sources have revealed some key details to CNN News 18 that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is under increasing pressure to launch a comprehensive investigation into Arsh Dalla's activities, which include terror funding, include weapon smuggling, and also allegedly organized targeted killings. And even though there is CCTV footage reportedly showing his movements and involvement in criminal activities, Canadian police have not arrested him under pressure. Local media is also not talking about it, and Canada is safeguarding the interest of Khalistani KTF's interests, like ISI, Khalistan terrorists being picked from their safe houses, but their name has never been taken on record. So there is a larger ploy which is being busted by intel sources here, and that's been spoken of in detail here on CNN News 18. So despite several admissions being made by Justin Trudeau and diplomatically as well, remember how India has taken this up at the highest level, has called out Canada's long rope to Khalistani elements, Khalistani sympathizers. Here's what's happening as far as Arsh Dalla's detention is concerned. So far, no official word, no official confirmation on what the investigations have revealed. And the big question really, why hasn't he been arrested? Though India's not hoping much as far as his extradition is concerned, and that's something that we're still watching out for. But this makes one thing very clear, that there is some sort of pressure that Canada does indeed feel with regards to Arsh Dalla and his involvement in these notorious criminal activities, in this shootout incident. And those visuals caught on CCTV perhaps have put him in this tight spot. But Canada is finding it extremely, extremely difficult to answer now as to what really is going on behind the scenes. And that's why there is much concern around how Canada is going to be taking this forward. Let's now talk about the big story we are tracking from Karnataka. This is Karnataka Minister Zameer Ahmed Khan, who's kicked up another controversy by hurling a racist slur against former Chief Minister HD Kumaraswamy. He has been in the headlines all day long for dubbing HD Kumaraswamy as Kalia. After a series of attacks both by the JDS and the BJP, the Karnataka minister broke his silence. But instead of apologizing, he justified his remarks by saying that the remarks against HD Kumaraswamy were uttered out of love and affection, and that he had always called HD Kumaraswamy as Karyana. And this time around, it's just being said in Urdu. He also called HD Kumaraswamy an old friend, perhaps by trying to bring to light his days as a JDS leader. But this seems to have not gone down well with the JDS, as the party has demanded that the Congress remove him from the cabinet for these racist remarks. The BJP has also waded in and said that the Congress is habitual of dividing people on the basis of not just caste and religion, but also on the basis of their skin color. In fact, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju, while condemning Zameer Ahmed Khan's slur, recalled the racist comments made by Sam Pitroda not too long ago. Let's take it one step at a time, with a defiant Congress minister now speaking about his old friendship with HD Kumaraswamy. It's important to highlight how Zameer Ahmed Khan is already facing heat in the Waqf land disputes in Karnataka. But there are also several other fires that have been fanned by him in the past. Remember, Zameer Ahmed is a habitual offender. This is not the first time he has commented on HD Kumaraswamy's skin color. His remarks have become notorious for their racial, communal, and politically motivated nature, often targeting rivals with personal attacks. So let's detail some of those past instances for you. In April 2021, Zameer Ahmed made a racially insensitive comment about Union Minister HD Kumaraswamy by calling him Kala Kumaraswamy. This derogatory remark was widely condemned for making a personal attack based on Kumaraswamy's appearance. Not just that, in February 2022, in a highly controversial remark, he suggested that rape incidents could be reduced if women wore hijabs, implying that the choice of attire could influence the occurrence of sexual violence. Absolutely shocking. In November 2023 as well, he commented on the Congress party's decision to make UT Khader, a prominent Muslim leader, the Speaker of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly. He then pointed out how BJP leaders were now showing deference to Khader by saying Namaskar. So that was another controversial remark that came in from him. In June 2024, Zameer Ahmed commented on Sagar Khandre's victory, claiming that it was largely due to Muslim votes and that as a result, he was compelled to work for the Muslim community. And today, once again, he triggered a massive controversy by referring to H.D. Kumaraswamy as Kalia Kumaraswamy, and he's not apologized for the same, instead has defended it. Now, Karnataka Minister Zameer Ahmed Khan is not the only one, or rather not the only one who's due to controversy. Let's also talk about Chairman of Indian Overseas Congress, Sam Pitroda, who's also called as the king of controversy. Sam Pitroda had also ignited a similar controversy with his comments in an attempt to make a pitch for national unity. And we've seen the BJP today, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju, rake that and talk about how this is perhaps once again an attempt on part of the Congress party to divide people on the basis of their skin color. In an exclusive interview with the Statesman, Pitroda, remember, described India as a diverse country where people from South India look like Africans, people from North India look like Chinese, people from West look like Arab, and people on North maybe look white. His comments faced massive backlash as it was seen as racially insensitive and divisive. And amid the backlash, he in fact had to step down as the chairman of Indian Overseas Congress. In his resignation letter, he in fact expressed regret over the controversy caused by his statements and claimed they were taken out of context and misinterpreted by critics. But it did indeed cause a lot of embarrassment to the Congress party. And this, being said by Karnataka Minister, is once again another embarrassment. And that's why, since we're talking about this controversy and this remark has been made in public domain, we're asking whether or not this is a result of the bipole that is scheduled in Karnataka, and also whether or not this will backfire at the Congress in the state.
ये कौन बोल रहा सो? हमारा काला कुमारस्वामी।
कुमारस्वामी जी के खिलाफ कांग्रेस पार्टी की टिप्पणी ने यह स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की सोच क्या है।
If anybody has violated the law, then they'll have to face the consequences. I do not know exactly what you are saying, so we will look into it and we'll check up and see if, whether there is any truth to this.
Let's quickly go across to our guest joining us this evening. We have Narendra Rangappa, spokesperson of the BJP, with us, along with political analyst Saeed Asad Abbas. We also have spokesperson of the JDS, Pratap Kanagal, with us on the broadcast. My first question, though, is to Pratap Kanagal. Mr. Kanagal, now that we've heard from the minister come out and not apologize, but rather defend his remarks and say that this was all said out of love and affection, what do you first up make of it? Because the JDS has been absolutely clear in taking to social media and pointing out that he must be sacked and the Congress party must take strictest of action against him. So what's your take on his latest response?
There is no friendship. There is no friendship between Kumarswamy and Zameer Ahmed. Whatever he claims, friendship and all those things, he used to call Kumarswamy as Kumarala. That is the friendship. That's all. Rest all this love and all this is all justification which is of no use. And moreover, it is just we are taking this as a personal attack, just mere personal attack. But no, this is not just a personal attack. It's a racial abuse. It is directed towards the many people, including its own party colleagues. Who, in fact, many people were standing along with him who had a dark soul, and many other leaders. That meant the 70-80% of people of Karnataka who are we all have a dark skin. So it is all It is it is like he just humiliated the people who have a dark tone skin. That's the matter. That's just a racial abuse, right? And I think if Congress party has any kind of moral left or anything, then they should immediately sack
Okay.
this Zameer Ahmed, because this is not the first time. This is not the first time. It's a repeat. He's a repeated offender, as you said. He's been like every 3 months he repeat. He has used the same word in the past also.
Okay,
And
a
he got
repeat
exposed.
offender, motor mouth, yet, he's in the cabinet serving as a minister in Karnataka. Said Asad Abbas, what's the guarantee that action will be taken this time around? We've seen some in the Congress say that action will be taken against quote-unquote violators, but going by the series of controversial remarks he's made in the past, nothing really has been done. In fact, he's just been, gifted a cabinet berth.
Kumarswamy, I've always believed with great power there is great responsibility and equal accountability. Now let me make the official statements here. A minister here in the government, Shri Dinesh Gundu Raoji, who also happens to be the former KPCC chief, has stated that he will look into it, and if found to be guilty, there are violations, he shall face the consequences. Not just that, Priyank Kharge, who also happens to be a minister here in the government of Karnataka, has said the Congress distances themselves from the statement and the senior leaders will certainly speak to him. Now, coming by the record, when it came to Sam Pitroda, necessary action was taken. He was immediately removed from his position, a senior leader like them. But the fact is, when BJP is all out there calling this out, what about their own leader like Ramesh Biduri, who in the temple of democracy like the Parliament of India called out Kuwar Danish Ali, another sitting MP, a Muslim MP, as a terrorist, as an extremist, and other words which I cannot even use on your program. Not just that, many a times, Kiran Rijiju, let me point out an incident of the same. Kiran Rijiju, who's being so loud about this, he needs to remember his own misogynistic statement. He tweeted Renuka Chaudhary's laughter and compared it to Ravana's sister, which is absolutely shameful. Not just that, many statements like 50 crore ki girlfriend, many statements like Jersey cow, Sonia Gandhi ji being compared to a Jersey cow. I think largely, be it the Congress or the BJP, the leaders need to be careful.
Do two wrongs make a right?
Absolutely not. So therefore, that's why I said Congress, BJP, JDS, any of the respective parties, with great power, there is responsibility and equal accountability. The respective political parties and leaders need to be careful about it. Not just that. Recently we heard, "Batenge to katenge," statement made by BJP Chief Minister Shri Yogi Adityanath ji. And not just that, communal statements, dime a dozen. I can report to you at least 10 communal statements where absolutely no action taken by the BJP leaders, which is unfortunate. 11 leaders were summoned by the BJP chief, B.S. Yediyurappa, C.T. Ravi, Anand Kumar Hegde, who compared Muslims to dogs. No action against them. Let me ask the BJP, what action was taken, sir? Isn't it absolutely shameful that your party does nothing against those communal leaders who make these statements for mere votes?
Unfortunately, Gali politics is back, and it's a political discourse that we keep seeing every election, and that's what's most unfortunate in all of this. But Mr. Rangappa, since Said Abbas is raising some questions with the Bharatiya Janata Party, how would you respond? Because the BJP was at the forefront of these allegations being levelled against the Congress and said that the Congress party is not just habitual of dividing people along caste and religious lines, but also based on their colour, skin colour.
See, let me start by condemning Zameer Ahmed Khan's obnoxious and rancid statement that he is going on making since a few days. He has made racial remarks based on color of the skin. He calls other community people shaitans. He instigates voters on the basis of religion. He has crossed all levels of decency. So, what Zameer has said recently is not definitely out of friendship. It spews the venom on Mr. Kumarswamy, and it is very unfortunate that it has come at such a time. I would like to ask Mr. Zameer, are you in India or are you in Pakistan?
Do you sense, Mr. Rangappa, that this is also linked to the bypolls in the state? This is also linked to the other elections slated in the other parts of the country, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, all of them going to polls?
See, Mr. Zameer Khan is futilely trying to consolidate a particular community towards his party.
No.
But he is forgetting the basic fabric of our nation is Sarvajano Sukhino Bhavantu. He has to strive to unite communities and bring out the best possible results that can be achieved by a unified community. What is Mr. Zameer Khan doing? He is dividing the society. He is giving galis based on religion and color. He has spread a frenzy among the farmers of Karnataka by trying to invoke the...
Can I
Said
answer
Asad Abbas, you outrightly said no, but I just spoke of a series of instances wherein he has made those controversial remarks and much of them do reek of appeasement. So how would you respond? Why are you saying no? You can't
I'll
deny
tell you
what has
why I
been
said
said in
no.
public domain.
Krithwinji, I'll tell you why I said no, and I was nodding my head left to right for a reason. The BJP spokesperson took out a leaf out of his debating book, which is to take out Pakistan. So this debate is about what happened here in India. How does it concern Pakistan?
But
Sir,
it is
we
being
have-
seen as a
we
bit
have-
to appease. It's being seen
Can
as
I-
a bit to appease. I've
How is
spoken
it
of at
appease
least
now?
4 to 5 instances in the past.
Can I answer that,
Excuse me,
please?
ma'am,
Can I
let me-
please answer?
one moment.
I'm coming
How
to
is
you.
it even-
I'm coming to you,
Zameer,
Mr. Rangappa. I'm
allow
coming
me
to you
to-
in just
Mr.
30
Zameer
seconds.
not support
Allow me to answer, please.
the people
Yeah, allow me
who
to answer.
shouted
Thank you, sir. Sir, it's my turn to speak, sir. Can I?
in the Vidhan Sabha of
Krithwinji,
Bangalore?
can I make 30-second statement,
Did he
please?
not support or did he
30,
support?
can I get 30 seconds, please?
He
Thank you, sir.
support
Sir, sir, you're speaking on my time.
Mr. Rangappa,
It is
I'm
my-
coming to you.
making
Sir, give him
allegations.
30 seconds.
Where are
I'm
you?
coming to you, Mr.
Has it
Rangappa.
become a wrong
Coming back
Okay,
to you,
thank
sir.
you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it. The fact of the matter, I was nodding my head against the statement made when he said Pakistan. Pakistan has no concern towards this, sir, and we are Indian Muslims. I am a proud Indian Muslim from here, from Karnataka. And calling out statements like Kalia to somebody is absolutely not okay with me. Respected, sir. Me or any human, it does
Then what
not
about
appease
calling
us.
people
And
shaitan?
nobody, now allow me to, don't get so rattled,
What
sir.
about people
Sir,
calling
your-
shaitan?
Can I,
Are shaitans
don't get
living in
rattled,
India?
sir. The problem
Mr.
is
Zameer,
your
I would like
fixation
to ask
with
you and Mr.
obsession with
Zameer,
Pakistan.
do shaitans
Why do you
live in
even
India?
have to bring in a rogue country like Pakistan into this? We have nothing to do with them, sir.
Then what about
How could you
that,
say
sir?
that
Shaitan
he
thing?
forgets he's in? Ma'am,
Who
Krithwin, ma'am,
are
can I
the
get?
shaitans in
Can
India?
I
No,
get
you've made your
uninterrupted
point,
time,
but you also need to respond. Said, you need to respond to the pointed allegation that Mr. Zameer Ahmed Khan continues to face. He's made these comments and he's always gotten away with it. He's been given a free hand, he's been made a minister, and now he's at the center of another controversy, which is a Waqf-related controversy in Karnataka, and that's why the Congress is feeling embarrassed.
I will
They
quickly
don't want
answer
him
that.
to
Krithwinji,
openly
yes.
campaign for the bypoll.
Yes, I will quickly answer that. I will quickly answer that, Krithwinji. The fact you've asked a pointed question and I have stated the same. I've made two official statements. Priyank Kharge, who distanced himself from the statement, this is not the official statement of the Congress party, and senior leaders shall speak to him. Dinesh Gundu Rao, Congress Karnataka minister, has stated that the necessary action will be taken against them. Any violation act to be found, he shall face the consequences. Now, coming to the farmers, respected
But is
sir,
this the
there is
first
an
time that
official
he's spoken
statement-
of H.D.
Ma'am,
Kumaraswamy
There is a
by
statement
calling
on
him
the farmers.
Kalia
I will try to
Kumaraswamy?
ask
It's not the
one
first
question.
time.
Can I make a statement?
Was action taken against him in the past, Said?
Okay.
One
The-
question to
you know,
Abbas, madam.
Was action
Mr.
taken
Abbas.
against Kumaraswamy
Abbas.
when
Okay,
when Kumaraswamy-
Mr. Rangappa
Can I answer,
is wanting to come in
I
since
want
a
to
while.
ask
He
you a
also has a
question.
question,
Can
and
I
then you can
answer that?
respond. Then you
I
can
will
respond
ask
in a
Mr.
go.
Abbas.
Yes, Mr.
He's
Rangappa.
interrupting, sir. Can we not
In
interrupt,
the
sir?
past,
Can we be
Mr.
civil when we speak to each
Zameer
other,
has
sir?
called people
There needs
other
to be
than
some
discriminatory as
civility in a
Saitans.
debate. Then
Then-
interrupting
Said,
each other.
you've had your
Yes.
say. You've had your say. Let him pose the
But
last
ma'am,
question
he's
because we're running out of
interrupting
time.
I
What
spoke.
punishment has been taken against
That's not
him?
fair.
He has to answer that.
Yes, go ahead. 30 seconds, go ahead, Said.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. The fact of the matter, sir, I will address this issue. You spoke about the farmers' land being taken away. Very important issue to speak on. The fact of the matter, CM Siddaramaiah made an official statement that all the notices sent to the farmers has been taken back.
No,
just that,
I'm
sir.
not going
And
into
not
that
that,
debate. I'm not going into
inch
that
of land was
debate,
taken away.
Said. Since I'm running out of time, I also want to go across to Mr.
Where
Kanagal,
has it
since
been
this directly
across?
affects his party. Mr. Kanagal, your last thoughts.
See, it's like as you mentioned clearly, it's not the first time, but every time he does this kind of make this kind of derogatory message, like statements and use the filthy words, he gets promoted or he gets gifted with something new. Because all this because he is a very close associate of Mr. Siddaramaiah. And whatever he does, like these kind of the filthy words he used for Mr. Kumarswamy, that is just to please Mr. Siddaramaiah, nothing else. He want to please Siddaramaiah and keep him happy. So every time he does, and people as he said, like Mr. Gundu Rao and Mr. Karge came and made a statement. What statement they made? They said we will check we'll see.
Yes.
That's all.
In fact,
Nothing else.
Mr.
Nothing
Dinesh
will
Gundurao
happen.
said that I've not
We
even
don't
heard
have-
the
we don't
statement
have-
as yet, so I
we
can't
don't have-
comment. So he did in fact refrain from making a comment on the same. Let's see whether or not Congress acts against this one. But many thanks, gentlemen, for joining us this evening on Plain Speak. That's all the time we have, heading into a short break for now.
Brought to you by
You don't have a problem in Russia. We have. You don't have. You might have. We still have. Hello, everybody.
Всех приветствую. Все понятно, все слышно?
Used to be.
To protect our citizens from this global menace. But if we're going to solve many of the problems facing our world, then we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. And we're going to have to find ways to cooperate in pursuit of shared interests. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the president with us. And he's been through a lot. He's been through a tremendous amount, like probably nobody else, almost nobody else in history, if you really get right down to it. And we're going to have a discussion and see what we can come up with. But great honor to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you so much for this meeting. Five years last. We had, yes. We had a meeting again here in New York in September, and now there are a lot of challenges in Ukraine and United States. And of course, I want to discuss with you. I think where we are together, I think we have a common view that the war in Ukraine has to be stopped and Putin can't win, and Ukrainians have to prevail. And I want to discuss with you the details of our plan. That will be it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have a question for the president? Anybody?
Why did you decide to leave?
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very special edition. It's a super explosive exclusive that we get to you on this edition. Paperwork trail that show how deeply involved Khalistani elements, secessionist elements, wanted elements, terrorist elements, those who fomented secession on Bharat soil, challenged Bharat's integrity and flew away from Bharat, escaping the law and order and the law of the land, are not only finding safe haven on Canadian soil, but more importantly, they are also enjoying a certain level of political patronage and proximity with those who today, perhaps somewhere directly or indirectly, control the reins of the Canadian government. Now, here on the right stand, we have shown you how the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been dabbling with K elements who are very clearly hand in glove with the ISI, Pak-based ISI, Inter-Services Intelligence and its agencies, members, an entity that is inimical to Bharat, and they have been trying to blame Bharat for involvement in K-terrorist Nijjar's killing, but later on claiming that he just had intel but no proof. Now, so far, Justin Trudeau till now has not given any credible proof. It's always been allegations and wiretaps, which again are violations of international conventions. But here on the right stand,